Hi everyone, welcome to ZyNerd's NEET PG 2023 Counseling Information Series. Today we will be looking at Haryana NEET PG Counseling in detail. Yesterday's session was, there was some issue, we faced a technical glitch in the office, so we were not able to continue with the session. We'll start afresh from today's session. Hope you're able to hear us out loud and clear, and the video is also perfect. If there are any issues, just do comment. Before we start the session, just a brief on Haryana PG Medical Counseling. We are going with the prospectus as of 2022. The process of counseling, rules, regulations, whatever we are planning, discussing today will be based on 2022 NEET PG Counseling. There might be minimal changes in this year's process, but if there are any changes, we will also communicate it at a later point in time. So when we are looking at this video, we are looking at it from a 2022 counseling prospectus perspective, so that we understand the rules and get ready for the counseling. We will be looking at eligibility for the counseling, the application requirements, the certificates, the round-wise rules, the choice filling and allotment rules, and the joining, exit and upgradation rules. All of them are critical, especially the round-wise upgradation rules are very critical, and Haryana has a slightly complicated resident based requirement rule, so that is also very critical. Now Haryana has a combined counseling for state government institutes and state private institutes. All the seats medical colleges in Haryana, private seats which come under the state government quota. So this private seats, a percentage of private seats come under the state government quota, and a percentage of private seats come under other categories like management or NRI quota. We will get to that in detail. In addition to that, if you go to the Karnataka, the Haryana portal or the allotment details, you will have a set of DNB seats which are allotted, DNB and NBE Diploma seats in either government medical colleges like Kalpana Chawla or BPS Medical College, etc., or Rohtak, etc. So these are DNB seats. Sorry, is there a? So these are DNBs. I'm sorry, just hold on. So these are DNB seats which are for in-service candidates across So these are DNB seats for in-service candidates in Karnataka, in Haryana. Basically what this means is a percentage, 20% of government medical college DNB seats are available for in-service candidates of Haryana. Only if you are in-service candidate of Haryana, then you will be eligible for this set of seats. Second, there is another 50% of DNB or NBE Diploma, majorly NBE Diploma seats in civil hospitals of Haryana, the government institutes of Haryana, not medical colleges but the civil hospitals of Haryana. They are also available for DNB in-service candidates of Haryana. So basically any DNB seat which is allotted through the Haryana State Counseling or NBE Diploma seat allotted through the Haryana State Counseling is only for in-service candidates. So other candidates will not be eligible for this. So everyone is eligible for the 50% state quota, government quota seats, and all the private medical colleges seats. Eligibility further on we will also let you know, but the basic eligibility is this. What is the NEET PG percentile qualification? 50% for UR category, 45% for 45% for UR PWD category, and 50% for EWS category. Beyond this, you have BCA, BCB and SC category. For SC category, the qualification criteria is 40% or above, like in All India Counseling. As far as BCA or BCB category goes, the qualification criteria for this set of candidates is 40% or above. This is irrespective of whether you have applied for OBC NCL or you have applied for any other category, general category in All India. That does not matter at all. Basically, what you have applied for in the NEET PG exam counseling does not matter at all. What you have applied for as whether you are OBC NCL there does not matter at all. If you are BCA or BCB, as per Karnataka state rules, you will be eligible for as per Haryana state rules, you will be eligible for Haryana State Counseling for the government quota seats if your percentile is above 40. Ineligibility, any student who is pursuing any PG course or PG diploma is in any institution is not eligible to apply. So basically when you apply, you should not be pursuing a PG course or any either diploma or a DNBC course. Eligibility for Haryana government quota seats. Haryana defines a resident to be eligible for Haryana government quota seats. What is a resident? We will come to. What are the seats available under government quota? 50% of government institute seats in Haryana, PGI Rohtak or Kalpana Chawla or BPS, etc. From all these government institutes, 50% government institute seats are available under government quota. 50% of private institute seats in Haryana, NC Medical College and Adesh, they are available under the government quota, note, and 25% of SGT seats are available. Who is eligible for it? A resident of Haryana is eligible. Who is a resident of Haryana? There are a whole list of classes. The first category is anybody who has done MBBS from a Haryana institute or university. Any institute or university in Haryana is eligible for Haryana seats. So Haryana government quota. So you, irrespective of your domicile, you have done your MBBS from Haryana, irrespective of your domicile, you are eligible for Haryana state government quota. Second is, you have not done your MBBS from Haryana, but you are a resident of Haryana. What is the criteria? Your parents or you should produce a resident certificate of Haryana. Who can get a resident certificate of Haryana? One, this entire set, it can be self, or you can be a children of somebody who falls under this criteria, or you can be a ward. If parents are not living, then you can be ward of somebody who is falling under this criteria, or a dependent of somebody who is falling under this criteria. It is a legally a ward or a dependent. Now, who are those who will be eligible either by self or if their parents or their ward of or dependent of? One, regular employees of Haryana state posted in or outside Haryana. Let us say you are a regular employee of the state government. You can be posted in Haryana, outside Haryana, doesn't matter, you are eligible as resident of Haryana. Regular employees of Haryana statutory bodies or corporations posted in Chandigarh, Haryana or outside Haryana, anywhere, they are eligible. Regular employees of Government of India who are posted in Haryana or Chandigarh or in connection with the affairs of the Haryana government, if they work in connection with the affairs of the Haryana government, then they are eligible. After retirement, let us say you are permanently settled in Haryana and draw pension from treasuries of Haryana, then you are eligible. Basically, this is not an eligibility for self, obviously, it is for somebody who is actually a son or a daughter of somebody who is residing there, or a ward or dependent of somebody who is a pensioner. Those who are pensioners of Haryana government, first one was anybody who is drawing pension from treasuries in Haryana, irrespective of where they are who are permanently settled in Haryana and drawing pensions from Haryana. Second is anybody who is drawing pension from the Haryana government, irrespective of wherever they are settled, they are also eligible as a resident. Their wards are also, or sons or daughters are also eligible. Anybody who has a permanent home in Haryana, even if they are living outside Haryana, they are eligible. And then you have been residing in Haryana for 15 years, then you are also eligible irrespective of any of the other criteria. Accredited journalists working in Haryana, you should be an accredited journalist. In that case, you or your son or wards are eligible for Haryana resident quota. Beyond this, there are two other clauses. You are a wife of a bona fide resident of Haryana. If your husband falls under this criteria, then you are eligible for Haryana resident quota, even if the wife belonged to a different state before marriage. Note that this is not spouse, this is only for wives of residents of wives of those who fall under the resident criteria of Haryana. Finally, persons born in Haryana are eligible. All of these, whoever is under category 2 is eligible, provided that you produce a certificate saying that your parents are guardians or self or citizens of India. You should be a citizen of India and have not obtained the benefit of residence in any other state. You not obtained the benefit of resident in any other state. You should, and so this is the criteria for Haryana government quota, basically based on residence. Now, what we will be looking at now is a seat split in Haryana. Haryana has government quota seats, we mentioned, right? The government quota seats are split into two. One, Haryana state merit quota and Haryana institutional quota. State merit quota, everybody whom we mentioned over here are eligible. Everybody whom we have mentioned over here is eligible. Government quota, who is eligible? For the government quota, for the institutional quota, who is eligible? Only those candidates who have passed MBBS from institutions in Haryana are eligible for the institutional quota. So the government quota is divided into merit quota, for which every candidate is eligible, MBBS from the state of Haryana or a resident of Haryana. And what seats do they get? 50%, basically 37.5%, basically 75% of the total seats in Haryana state government quota. Let us say PGI Rohtak has 200 seats, for example. In that case, 100 seats would go, 100 PG seats would go to All India Counseling. The rest 100 would be under state counseling, correct? So under the state government quota, they will be split as 75 seats for Haryana state merit quota and 25 seats for Haryana institutional quota, making it a 37.5, 12.5% of the total number of seats. Similarly, private institute seats are also split similarly, 37.5% and 12.5% of the total number of seats. The rest 50% of private goes into management quota or NRI quota. And from SGT University, 25% of seats go state quota. Now we look at management quota or management quota seats within private. We said that 50% of private seats over here go into Karnataka state merit quota or institutional quota. As similarly, 25% of a seat SGT goes into that. The rest all seats go into management quota. What is it? Haryana management quota seats are 50% of seats in private institutes of Haryana and 75% of seats in SGT University. Candidates from all over India, irrespective of their domicile, are eligible for this set of seats. Beyond, from this, 15% can be NRI seats, for which candidates across India are eligible for, but Haryana has a priority based NRI criteria. Note that. So what are we saying? For management quota, 50% of private institute seats, etc., and 75% of other SGT University seats are open seats for all candidates. Every candidate across India is eligible. Similarly, NRI too, there is a priority based criteria, but every candidate across India is can apply for NRI seats. NRI quota seats, we look at NRI quota seats. NRI quota is 15% of private seats or 15% of SGT University seats. Priority based allocation happens. Everybody can apply, but priority based allocation happens. What is priority based allocation? First priority is candidates who are NRIs or OCIs or PIOs who originally belong to Haryana. Obviously, NRIs settle down in some other state. So if they originally belong to Haryana, the candidate himself or herself originally belong to Haryana and is an NRI, then that is the first priority. Only after the last rank candidate in this category is allotted, the first rank candidate in the next category is allotted. Let us say the last rank candidate here is 80,000 rank, and priority 2 is children of NRIs or OCIs, PIOs who originally belong to Haryana. So second priority is children of NRIs. Now last rank candidate who candidate himself or herself is an NRI is 80,000. First candidate who is a children of NRI who originally belong to Haryana is 20,000. After this 80,000 is allotted, the 20,000 rank candidate will be allotted. That is a priority based allocation in Haryana. Third priority is candidates who are actually NRIs but from any other state of Union Territory of India. And the fourth priority is children of NRIs, OCIs, PIOs from any state or Union Territory of India other than Haryana. Last priority is the All India basis priority, like you have for All India Counseling of by MCC, basically the deemed universities rule, where first degree relations are eligible, which is clearly defined: real brother or sister, real brother or sister of father, real brother or sister of mother, father or mother, or paternal grandfather or grandmother, they can sponsor you, or maternal grandfather or grandmother, they can sponsor you for NRI quota seats, but that will be priority 5. Now we look at the reservation in government quota seats. Reservation exists in government quota seats in Haryana. For private seats, a percentage of private seats, there is a reservation. The state quota of the private seats, there is a reservation. For government quota seats, which includes 50% of state government and 50% of private seats, there is a reservation which is mentioned over here. You can go through it. Out of the 20% SC reservation, to 10%, which is basically half of the reservation, is for SC deprived candidates, and reservation is only for Haryana state candidates. Many candidates have been asking whether Haryana MBBS but domicile from outside state will be eligible for reservation. No, only Haryana state candidates are eligible for reservation. And you have a 20-25% institutional preference, which we already discussed. 5% horizontal reservation is there for PWD candidates. Candidates have to appear before a medical board constituted by PGI Rohtak for this checking verification of the disabilities and ensuring that they are eligible for PWD seats. And reservation, two specific reservations that exist are reservation for freedom fighters and reservation for ex-servicemen and their wards of Haryana. It is available in Haryana. This is only for Haryana. Now, in-service reservation exists. 40% of seats are reserved for in-service candidates in Haryana. This came up last year, resulting in a delay of almost 2-3 weeks compared to other institutes as far as the first round of Haryana counselling goes. 40% of seats through an amendment last year are available for in-service candidates. No incentives from last year. They should get NOC as per policy, and they should have completed 3 years in rural, remote and or difficult areas. Depending upon the number of years of completion, there is a there is a criteria as well, like we have mentioned here. What is the application and notification process? You register through an online portal, pay online registration fee. This is a registration fee alone, something which is around 2,500, I think. We will come to that. And editing of information is, if required, there will be a possibility of editing information. Submit and confirm the details, and then you fill choices and lock choices. Note that you directly go into filling choices and locking choices. Allotment list is published. You deposit the tuition fee online and download the allotment letter. Verification is done after allotment for those who have deposited the fee and downloaded the allotment letter, and admission letter is then available for download. Note that there is a verification process at PGIMS Rohtak before the admission process. Join the allotted institute after the verification is done by directly going to the institute after downloading the admission letter. This is the process. Document verification is to be done before the admission at the institute. The timelines will be very clearly mentioned. Round-wise rules, this is for Haryana. Round-wise rules for Haryana 2022. So, if you look at the round-wise rules, every round including the till the mop-up round, there is fresh choice filling in Haryana, which means you fill choices in round 1, forget them, then come again in round 2 and fill fresh choices if you want to upgrade or go for new seats. Your round 1 choices will not be considered at all. Round 1, in case you join a round 1 seat in to Haryana and you are willing to upgrade, before the second round you will provide a willingness to upgrade, and if you join a round 1 seat and resign the seat before the prescribed date, there will be a prescribed date provided. Before that, if you resign the seat, then you will be eligible for the next round. Similarly, if you don't join an allotted seat, you will be eligible for the next round. Round 1 is free exit. You can resign a round 1 seat in Haryana and join round 1 seat in Haryana and join an all India round 2 seat. Be very clear about it. Every state allows this, resigning a round 1 joint seat to join a round 2 all India seat. That is possible. You can resign your state round 1 seat till a few days before the state round 2. There will be a prescribed timeline. But Haryana is very strict about something that we will come to in round 2. Security deposit payment is required in round 2. First thing, you will have to make a payment of security deposit. We will come to that amount too. The amount is around 25,000 or 2 lakhs based on whether you are looking at government or private institutes. You are allotted and you join the seat in round 2 of Haryana. Like as mentioned by the Supreme Court, you will not be eligible for further rounds. You won't be able to participate in round all India mop-up. You will not be eligible to participate in state mop-up as well, in Haryana mop-up or any other state counselling after you join a round 2 Haryana seat. Once you are allotted and you join the seat, let us say you are allotted and you do not join a seat, your security deposit gets forfeited and you are eligible for mop-up through fresh registration and repayment of security deposit. You are joined, you are not eligible. With a round 2 seat, you cannot upgrade into mop-up in Haryana state. Similarly, this is a very critical thing. We mentioned that earlier too. After, let us say you join a round 1 seat in Haryana. You join the seat. This is a state round 1 seat. Then you go into state round 2. Nothing happened in all India round 2. You go to state round 2. And Haryana, you fill your choices. Fresh choice filling, you fill better choices than whatever you have got. You have got a seat, you want a better seat, you fill better choices in round 2. You don't get a better seat. What happens? You will retain your round 1 seat. We know that. You will still have your round 1 seat. That is your final seat. It is considered a state round 2 joined, and you will not be able to resign that seat till the end of the admission process. You can't go to any other counselling. Haryana mop-up or all India mop-up is off. That is your final seat. So, a round 1 retained seat, exactly like in all India counselling, a round 1 retained seat in round 2, you will not be eligible for participation. And similarly, in case you join a round 1 seat and you do not resign, you joined a round 1 seat, you do not resign, don't participate in round 2, you are not participating in round 2, not filling choices at all, you will not be able to resign your round 1 seat after the last date of resignation. If you don't get upgraded, or if you are not participating at all, your round 1 seat is your final seat. That is the process in Haryana. But note that this does not mean you cannot resign your round 1 seat before the round 2, state round 2 deadline. Till that point in time, you can resign your seat. Mop-up round, anybody who has not joined in All India round 2 and state round 2 were eligible for mop-up. Mop-up allotted candidates were allotted in Haryana mop-up. Haryana interprets it this way, but we can't assure you anything because this is left to interpretation. Many candidates themselves interpret it based on what benefits them. The clause is not very clearly defined. MCC doesn't take responsibility or send across a list. So this you wait for this year without any assurance, but last year this is what happened. Fresh registration was available for stray round 2 in Haryana. There was a fresh online registration, but the counseling was offline. Physically you had to participate. I believe in I think there was a different location than PGIMS Rohtak last year. Candidates not holding a seat can participate in the counseling. They will have to take their originals and also have a provision for making the payment. Certificates required for Haryana, you can have a look at these certificates. These certificates are required during verification as well and during the allotment. Some of them are relevant only after allotment. You can have a look at them. The basic NEET PG, a scorecard, application form and date of birth proof is required. MBBS degree certificate, CRRI certificate, character certificate is required. If you have a contact certificate from the head of the institution, that is sufficient, or somewhere it is written that in some institutes the degree certificate carries a line saying that the contact was good, etc. That is also sufficient. Registration certificate from State Medical Council. This is not required from Haryana. Note that if you are not a Haryana resident, then if you are not registered in Haryana State Medical Council, you can even submit the certificate after admissions. You need any State Medical Council registration or MCA registration, that is enough. Caste certificate, and in case you are BCA, BCB, income certificate is required. EWS certificate is required in case you are applying under EWS. Resident certificate if you are applying as a resident of Haryana. Freedom fighter, ex-serviceman certificates, we have the prospectus in detail. In the prospectus it is mentioned as to where you can get this, like from the Sainik officer, from your district, etc. You will be able to get this. Just check that. Proof of identification, one proof of identification is required, and passport size photographs. FMGs can participate in state government quota. So FMGs who come under the Haryana resident category can participate under the state government quota. They can get their FMG certificate, and candidates have to get it from the verified from the medical board at PGIMS Rohtak along with the allotment letter, along with all the certificates. If you go to the verification, then after verification, you can go ahead and go ahead for the admission in the institute. In-service candidates alone have to get another certificate, basically an NOC issued by the competent authority along with the service details, etc. has to be provided. Now residence certificate, standard formats of residence certificate are provided here, and who has to sign, etc. is provided here. The first one that you see over here, Annexure 4A, everybody has to provide, basically mentioning that this has to be provided, basically mentioning that I am a resident of Haryana and I am a citizen of India, and I have not claimed residentship in any other state is what needs to be done. This has to be done by a notary public. It mentions executive magistrate or an oath commissioner or a notary public. You can get this affidavit signed by a notary public. Similarly, each certificate has to be, in case you are claiming under different category, each category has a designated signing authority. For instance, if you are claiming as an employee of Government of India, then who was involved in Haryana, basically is in the state of Haryana, has been posted in the state of Haryana or in connection with the affairs, then the head of the department has to sign with the seal. Similarly, if you have studied in a school for these many years, then this principal or the headmaster has to approve. If it is based on holding property, then the corresponding signing officer would be the Tahsildar or above. So similarly for each certificate you will have a designated authority, get it from the designated authority. Fee for Haryana PG medical seats, see Haryana PG medical seats, we will look at every fee that is available under Haryana PG medical. Registration is at rupees 2500. When you register for unreserved category you pay 2500, or for SC ST category you pay rupees 1250, and this is non-refundable and no security deposit is to be paid before round 1. Before round 2 you have to pay a security deposit. Government medical colleges alone, if you are opting for, you will have to pay a security deposit of 25,000. If you are opting for private medical colleges, you need to pay a security deposit of 2 lakhs. For SC, ST, SC, BC, EWS or PWD candidates, 12,500 is the security deposit paid. In the first year fee, this will be adjusted. The first year fee, to whom will you pay? It has to be paid to the university, at Rohtak, and you will be transferred to the respective institute. In case you are looking at a private college, 50% of fee has to be paid to Pandit B.T. Sharma UHS, and the rest 50% has to be paid at the time of admission. This is the first year fee alone, first year fee of which 50% has to be paid online to the respective institute. And for what is the tuition fee? The tuition fee for government institutes, this has changed slightly, I think. 1.25, 1.5 and 1.75 lakhs is the current tuition fee. Possibly we need to change that. And for private institutes, for pre-clinicals, like you see, clinicals it is 3.52 lakhs, 5.52 for paraclinicals and 14.02 lakhs for clinicals. This can go through a 10% increase every year. So 14.02 becomes another 14.02 plus another 1.42 lakhs, which will come to 15.42 or 44 lakhs. SGT university fee is separate. The pre-clinicals it is 10 lakhs per annum, and paraclinicals PATH alone it is 17 lakhs per annum, and clinicals goes from 20 lakhs to 38 lakhs per annum. Note that Haryana last year, if you talk to residents of Haryana, some of them might have told you that they have got seats at 6.95 lakhs. We are also still exploring that. In round 2, Haryana notified, sent across a notification saying, mentioning a 50% of fees across this. We are still trying to figure out whether government quota seats were at those fee structures, or was there a reduction, or for whatever reasons in the fee structure. We are trying to check that. We will get back to you on that. But the prescribed fee as per the prospectus itself is this very clearly. This has been clearly intimated in last year's prospectus. We checked with the institutes, Adesh and SGT University, they were pretty clear this is the fee structure for private institutes, there is no reduction in fee, but still there was a notification. We are trying to figure out why. How. Haryana does not have a bond. There is no service bond in Haryana, irrespective of what communication you get from candidates outside, which is misinformation. Haryana does not have a bond, or rather the right way to put it, Haryana did not ask candidates to sign a bond in 2021 or 2022. However, the prospectus has a clause which mentions that any bond notified later shall be applicable to the particular batch admitted. How they will implement it, whether they have the rights to implement it, whether it will be legally ratified, we do not know, but this clause existed. Just be aware of it. In the first year alone, when they joined, 1 or 2 institutes started getting basically PGMS Rohtak started getting an affidavit saying that any bond will be applicable, but that too is not in practice now. So as of now, Haryana does not have a bond, service bond, either for all India quota or state quota candidates. In case you leave a Haryana seat, the penalty is, including a management quota seat, any seat, the penalty is 10 lakhs plus fee for current academic session. Let us say you have gone through one academic session and you are in the second session in a government quota seat, then fee for the current academic session has to be paid, whatever, in case you have not paid it. For the next academic session, you will have to pay 50% of the fee. 3 years debarment and a bond with 2 sureties have to be provided for at the time of admission. Note that this bond is for course leaving. If you discontinue a course after a prescribed deadline, like after round 2 of Haryana, or the seat lapses, etc. So this timeline will be notified, or if you continue with the course and then after 6 months you leave, then this is the penalty. The stipend is mentioned over here. Haryana offers a stipend on a central scale 90,208 to 95,676. Now this is pretty much what we have for you. We have in detail explained what Haryana seats are. Now before we will also look at what if there are any queries as far as Haryana is concerned, but one thing that we will tell you is we have Haryana's quotas and categories have been clearly listed down in ZyNerd. If you go to ZyNerd, you will be able to see all the quotas and categories. We will let you how you will be able to see the information in ZyNerd. I hope the other screen is visible. Yeah, ZyNerd page is visible, right? So yeah, so ZyNerd, we go into closing ranks and look at all the counselings. Here you see every counselling mapped under the respective states. So if it is Haryana medical counselling you are looking at, you look at Haryana. Why is it mapped counselling wise or state wise? Because each counselling is separate and you have to apply for each counselling separately. So if I am going to apply for All India counselling, looking for Haryana government seats in All India counselling, I have to go into All India counselling and look at Haryana government seats. Let us say I am looking at Haryana state quota seats, not the All India quota seats over here, state quota seats. I go into Haryana, I apply for Haryana PG medical counselling. I fill in choices there separately. So the structure of our portal is also defined that way, because you have to understand that each counselling is separate. You get confused initially, we actually do not have a problem with that, because this confusion, you come back to us and say that Haryana seats are not available, will result in you understanding that you go to Haryana, apply for Haryana PG medical, only then you will get the Haryana state quota seats. There are even candidates who come up with questions saying, are the counselling separate? So this helps them actually understand. If they go through it for the next 2 months, definitely every information is going to help them understand how the entire counselling works, what quotas are there. You go through the entire information at least for 1 hour a day, you will ace the counselling with maximum information. So here you have the complete list of quotas available. In case you have a confusion with what quota you are eligible for, etc., you can look at Haryana's quota classification over here. It will clearly mention that private seats under management quota, every NEET PG qualified candidates are eligible. So if you are looking at private seats, what will you click? Private seats under management quota is what you will click for all India basis eligible seats. Similarly, NRI seats, all candidates across India are eligible, and the priorities for NRIs, everything is available here. You look at state quota, it will tell you who is eligible for state quota. Who is eligible for institutional preference? Only Haryana MBBS are eligible. So we will look at how to look at data now. You have a fallback here. You can also look at this video to look at data. How will you look at data? Select quota. First thing is decide on what quotas you are interested in. Let us say you are interested in state government seats. First thing to do is, are you an MBBS from Haryana or are you an MBBS from other state who is a resident of Haryana? Let us say you are an MBBS from Haryana. What will you select? You are eligible for Haryana state quota seats first. This is the complete list of Haryana state quota seats. Within that, you also have institutional preference. You are an MBBS from Haryana. What will you be eligible for? An MBBS from Haryana will be eligible for institutional preference seats as well, in addition to state quota seats. So go there, click Haryana institutional preference, Haryana state quota institutional preference seats. Now these are all state quota seats. This will have both government seats and 50% of private institute seats as well. I want to know only government seats, select government institute. That is it. You have got all your entire list. Now you can go ahead and select on whatever categories that you want, whatever courses that you want for the category you belong to. Let us say you belong to BCA category, you can select BCA. You will also be eligible for what category? UR category. Everybody is eligible for UR, so select UR. You will also be eligible for what? IP, institutional preference seats of BCB, because you are an MBBS from Haryana. So select IP BCA. Your selection is done. Here you have the closing ranks. The closing ranks are state ranks. Basically, after your state merit list is out, there is a rank. That is why the closing rank, that is what is mentioned. You now have your All India rank. So put in All India rank and you will see the closing ranks for MD General Medicine as far as All India is concerned for these years. I select 2022 so that it is easy for you to look at the data. Here are the list of institutes. We have ESI Medical College Faridabad alone, which is at a different fee structure with a bond of 2 years and a bond penalty and a bank guarantee. Everything is mentioned in ZyNerd. For every institute, for every quota, every information is mentioned, including the fact that stipend is available, TDS is deducted, etc. This is available for 1200 plus institutes across India, whichever you are applying for under All India quota, DNB, etc. Here we see that in round 3, BCA seat was available at 13,717 in in mop-up, which might possibly have happened because this candidate left the seat or did not join the seat, making it a lucky seat. However, you will see that otherwise it closes at around 2662 or so on. Note that Haryana follows a slightly different merit list policy and allotment policy. Haryana state mop-up merit list rank has only those who registered for mop-up and pay. Let's say you go into R1, everybody is part of the R1 merit list. In R2 merit list, only those candidates who have paid the security deposit and mop for R2 are part of the R2 merit list, and those who are ineligible from R1, R2 will be removed from the mop-up merit list, which means, let's say the mop-up merit list has 500 candidates, the original merit list might have had 1800, 2000 candidates. Therefore, these counseling ranks may not be an actual reflection. You see that it closed at 26, it is among those who participated in mop-up. So, know this distinction and then take a look, or you can look at the all India ranks to be straightforward. And second thing is, Haryana also has had a slightly different thing in 2021. If you look at 2021 of Haryana had possibly had incentives. We don't have a reference point here. If there is a candidate who has got an incentive and then taken up a seat, then that will be available under red in this pink in this particular pink shaded in this particular thing. As of now, it is not available, so we are not able to show that to you. Next, let us say I am looking at Haryana management quota seats which are available on an all India basis. Basically, I am looking for open seats of Haryana. I am from a different state. You can see that it's private management quota. So here I go here and then select the course that I want. I am looking for general surgery, let us say, and select general surgery, and you will see the closing ranks of Haryana's general surgery. The fee, stipend and bond we will be updating because of the confusion of 14.02 lakhs versus 7.01 lakhs. This fee is yet to be updated. We have it, however, over here under fee, stipend and bond. You go in and then select state as Haryana. And select institute type as private institute or state private university. You have the fee structure over here, but still we haven't combined it along with the closing ranks. For one reason, we are just validating it, and we will get that to you for sure in very soon. Once we validate it, we will update it together as far as the fee, stipend and bond for private institutes are concerned. And if you are looking at NRI seats, you can always click on NRI institutional quota and look at it. Haryana management quota seats, you also have private seats under institutional preference quota. If you are an MBBS from Haryana, you will be eligible for this set of seats. You can also look at those. Just ensure that you select the category as IP-whatever, so only then you will be able to see all the institutional preference seats under Haryana. So this is pretty much what we have about Haryana. All the information is available in ZyNerd. At the click of a button, you will be able to go back. If you want to look at all India counseling, that too is available instantly. If you want to look at doing the posthumous, take a look at ZyNerd in case you have not subscribed. For those who have subscribed to ZyNerd, these info guides will be available. Any change at a later point in time, also we will be updating it in the portal. So you will have complete information on any change at a later point in time too. And what are we looking at? I don't think we have any queries as of now. In the resident certificate, according to Annexure 4A, 4B is also need to be made for a resident based on address. We will just check what 4A, 4B is. So if you are referring to 4A, 4A is required for everyone. That is more of a, the prospectus clearly mentions that these are residents, and then provided that you submit this is just a notary affidavit. It is nothing like a confirmation that you have been, you are not claiming anything. You submit it and then notarize it. This is not a certificate where somebody authorizes your citizenship, etc. through a verification or a validation process. It is just got from a notary public, and that is an addendum to whatever you give. So if you are going to get a certificate based on birth or residence for the past many years or immovable property, etc., you get 4B and then get 4A notarized by someone. That is required. So that is how the residence certificate is. And that is provided as an additional clause, provided if you are taking it by residence, you can also get. The notary certificate is very simple to get. Even if you have any queries, we suggest that you always get it so that there is no confusion at a later point in time. I think this is pretty much we have about Haryana in detail. There were some queries from candidates on specific, because Haryana's resident criteria is very vast. There might be some grey areas which has not been touched upon by the rules, etc. You can just call us up in case you are a ZyNerd subscriber. You will be directed to a direct subject matter expert, and we will be answering your queries on Haryana. Thanks a lot for watching. If there are no other questions, we will just close it here. The groups, the Haryana Telegram group links and the All India Telegram group links where we support candidates with information is available. We will also be coming up with a channel for ZyNerd subscribers soon, where we will be communicating all information on ZyNerd to you. We are working on that, and we will also be coming up with updates and information in ZyNerd for the 2023 as and when it happens. Like NEEGRIMS, there are some state counselings which have been the prospectus has been published. NEEGRIMS as a state, not as a in institute, for the state quota seats for northeast candidates, or NEEGRIMS pass out candidates, MBBS candidates has published their notification. We have already updated in ZyNerd. So every update you will have in ZyNerd as and when we move forward. All the best for the counselings. Keep looking at information and preparing, especially your choices. Process everything you need to understand, yes, but get your evaluation order ready before the counselling process. Talk to residents and get your preference order ready for your set of seats. You can go to ZyNerd and look at what are the possibilities for this. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll get back to you with information on another session very soon. The next session possibly will be on All India rules and regulations in detail. That will be really helpful. We'll get back to you on when we are running the next session. Thank you.